My name is Susan Kiruma, a mother of one, a wife of one husband. I've come from a family of two, me and my brother. My mom is there, my dad is not there. I thank God for this far that He has brought us. My story is a bit very emotional, but I want to believe that this will be a blessing to somebody because the Lord did it for me. I got sick when I was small. That is from 1989 to 2010. For free, I do not know what to call that disease, but all I remember is that I could be speaking to people and my mind goes off. And when I come back after like a period of 10 minutes, I am not able to pick up from where I left. So it used to really embarrass me. I couldn't talk much with other people, and even if I am a sanguine. So when I try to talk much, I realized it always comes more and more and more to a point where my parents thought this is a very serious case. People were scared how I used to cross the roads and go to school. I made it. I remember there was one incident, Pale Phase 4, I was almost hit by a bus. And then by the time I came back to myself, the bus was actually next to me. How I survived, I don't know. At that time, was I saved? Yes and no, because I've grown up in East Assembly, KEG. So I was a church girl, but really committing my life to Christ, I did it officially 1993. That time I think I was in study 7. Pastor Tembo was preaching on Jesus is coming soon. Have you ever felt like he's coming that moment and you are being left? That is what I felt. In fact, I got saved in a main service, and when Pastor Tembo finished that sermon and he called the altar call, I'm the only person who went in front. But as usual, the congregants, even today, when a young person goes in front there to be prayed for, or a child, we assume, we just assume that anyway. Anaenda tu, sidhani ameelewa, but ameenda tu. But for me, it was a particular call. It was like, you either come now or come home now. So I was like, hey. And he removed it in a way, Jesus is coming, like, ako pale kwa gate, so you better prepare yourself. So that is what, would I say I got saved out of fear of being left? Yeah, that is what happened. But since that time, I have never gone back. And so I kept on trusting God. So at this time, my parents decided this thing is bothering us. So they took me to hospital, specifically my dad. They took me to Aga Khan. And when the doctor checked my head, they did everything they could do. They said I was to go for an operation. I didn't have a problem with the memory because it only came at a short period. So the blackout could just take like 5 minutes, and then, or even seconds, and it's gone. So I didn't have a problem with memory, especially the school. The only place which, if they were worried, they never showed me that they were worried, is when I am going to school, literally, because there are vehicles on the road. What if it gets to me? And then now they hear a story, just like I said, that there's a time I blacked out in the middle of the road and the KBS was just right next. That driver did not talk. He actually stopped, akashuka, and then he held my hand, he crossed me. He didn't beat me, he didn't ask me anything. And then he went back and drove. So everybody in the bus panicked. But after that now, well, I don't know how it used to operate, because even my parents never said, now we will be taking you to school. No, it's like, fine, we are believing it shall be well. So even if it worried them, especially my dad more, he didn't show me, but I could tell it is worrying him. Yeah, it could happen in the house when they're talking to me and I've taken a trip. They used to say she's already gone. Yeah, so, And in the house, for it not to look like it was serious, they used to crack a joke. So when you come back, they ask, so how was the tour? Now tell us, what did you meet in the tour? Yeah. But of course, you know it is paining them, but they wanted to show me it's not really that serious. In a class, I thank God I never met should I say a harsh teacher who could not, or a teacher who does not understand. So I think one of them noticed, then told the others. But like in primary, no teacher actually bothered to find out. In secondary, there was, and she was really concerned. She's called Mrs. Kimani. God bless her. She was really concerned, and she could tell me, I'm going to take you. Of course, I wouldn't go then, but she used to tell me, we are going to go to the pastor. You'll be prayed. You'll be healed. I know God is a healer, you know. And some of them could say, this is not a disease. This is a demonic thing, you know. So you're left wondering what to believe. It is you they're talking about, but you don't know what to believe. So I chose to stay with what I knew, that which I did not know what it was. Well, it didn't stop me from having my daily life, like social, school, and all that. But it interfered with more so my social life, because I couldn't socialize with guys without laughing. And then when I grew up, it reached a place where when I talk to someone and they don't know me, I have to explain. When that happens in front of them, I have to explain. So I kept on asking God, for how long will I do this? Will I explain my situation to everyone on this earth? And it was very embarrassing. It was very painful. So at particular that time, I thank God I went through school, still with the same problem. Went through school, I finished, continued 2003. When I finished Kole, of course I was in church. I could come to church. I want to do serious ministry on pulpit. I'm a good singer. So when I would be told to lead worship, every time I'm told to lead worship, I freak out because I might black out anytime. So what I used to do, I used to tell the guy who's the choir director, please just watch me and stand by. If you see me, I've gone off, please take over like nothing happened. And of course, after that, I'll be embarrassed because guys will be asking me, Kwani, what happened? Kwani, what happened? So the whole ministry would know she actually had a break. I didn't fall. I couldn't fall. You wouldn't even tell if you didn't know me, but I was blacking out totally. So it kept on bothering me. Apparently, God brought a very handsome boyfriend along the way. I remember the first date we went, oh my God. Of course, there's those chicks impressing the dudes and you want to be all together. And then here you are in a public place. I think we were at I can't remember that place, but it's a very gisty place. Then it was a very gisty place. I blacked out on his face. He's just getting to know me. What? Me, I knew Bass. Now after this date, this guy is over, as in, and he sat there. He waited for me to come back, and he told me it is fine. He didn't even ask me what happened, why. It's like he had already known this. She has this issue, and he just ignored and told me it's okay, continue eating. And then he repeated the story he was saying. Then I picked up, and then again. On our way out, I blacked out again. So when we were going, when he was going, we were going on the, we were going on a different direction. When he's going this way, me, I decided to go this way. Or rather, when I blacked out, I went this way. So he had to reach me out, walk with me for a while, and act like nothing happened. Well, of course, yes. You would say this guy, yeah. But you know what? It really hurt me. It really made me think, will I ever get married? Will I ever... Apparently, the guy I'm talking about, he's now my husband. He stood with me. Of course, guys, because he's a pastor, so guys were like, are you sure you want to get married to this chick who blacks out everywhere? Are you sure you are ready to what if it is an inheritance, you give birth and then your children inherit it, you know? So it was a whole crap of a story. And then I just told God, you know what? I've heard you're a healer. Now you have to heal me. We've gone to the hospital twice. Now this is where my dad decides, haijakuwa ikimsumbua. You will not have a surgery. Just go. The day the Lord will decide to heal you, he will heal you. He had faith on my behalf, but at some point I felt like I'm losing it. So of course I could watch more of Benny Hinn when he's healing guys, and I would wish it's me. So what saved me more is that I would have faith on my behalf. As much as it is embarrassing, I would have faith that one day, when I don't know when, this log will be taken away from me. Because for me, it was a thorn on the flesh. I don't know what Paul's thorn was, but mine, that was a thorn. So, and I always wished it would be taken away because it was a hindrance to so many things. I am a sanguine. I am an ambitious person, and I would wish to do ABCD, make PRs here, there, do 1, 2, 3. But when this happens, it's like it takes me like 10 miles back. So I used to tell God, how do you expect me? Then people would ask when I was almost, when now I was dating, and then my fiancé had declared he wants to marry me. And people said, now what if, actually Christians said, what if you marry this chick and then in the kitchen she's cooking and then she blacks out? Don't you think she will burn the whole house? You're getting now? And of course it would hurt him because that is not true. He has never, I used to cook at home. So he never heard that I burnt myself because a blackout happened. I would say miraculously, the Lord used to protect me. And miraculously, the Lord was teaching everyone around me that I am a healer because I never took any medicine. Okay? This thing just went by itself. And then again, I think also growing up with one parent loving you and another not being there for you, really, it also contributed a lot of that. That's a whole story altogether, but it used to like prompt it, because when I'm stressed, it used to happen like this. So I told God, it is enough. I'm not getting married with this. Especially when people, I think the last time when now it hit me serious is when people said, now when she gets married, she'll give birth to children, it shall be a genetic disease. Hey, I am back and told God that's not my portion. And it really, really weighed me down. And I remember, to be very honest, I prayed seriously. I don't even think now I have ever fasted like I fasted then. I did a 7-day dry fast. Nikakonda katishana hivi. And then until one time I just woke up, this thing is not there. This thing, actually, it's not happening. A day couldn't end. So it could, like he said, like I said, 5 minutes pan. Then you can imagine it has changed to once a day. Then you wake up one day, it's not there. So then tell me if there is no God in that. And I never took medicine. When my boyfriend left me, yes, I did doubt God. And I asked him a lot of questions, because as a child, I can't say I got the attention that the children need from the parents. Not specifying which one, but I never got attention from one of them. We are only two. I'm the only girl, and my brother is the only boy. So automatically, those children, people say they are spoiled and all that. But for me, I got more pain. Those people who walked with me through my life, they saw what I used to go through. And I don't know how to explain that, but it was really, really, really very tough. Very tough. And looking at one of them wants you to get healed, the other one is saying it's just a minor thing and not caring anyway. And then the one who cares most passes on. My dad passed on 2000. He's the one who had, actually 1999, he's the one who had said, we go to hospital, get these things sorted and done. You have a very bright future. So we go to Aga Khan and I'm told the only solution is to have a brain surgery. Then he said, no, of course you can't trust Kenyans, as they say, on brain surgery. So he said, no, it might be worse. She can go to school, she can live a normal life. When the Lord decides to heal her, we'll heal her. And that was it. That's how we walked out of the hospital. So when he goes, then I feel like the whole world has cramped down, because he's the guy I would go cry and ask him a lot of questions and ask him, why would God not heal me? He heals people. He heals small wounds. Which sin did I commit, Of course, when my dad died, that was my lowest moment. I couldn't connect for a while. But the good thing with me is that I'm a talkative person. So when I'm stressed, I'll share it out with someone, probably a friend or a spiritual authority, and I would pour my tears, or I would cry, and tell God, you have to be my physical father. I have to offload. Actually, I learned to make him my official dad, where I would tell him everything. I knew if my dad was there, I would tell him. So it came out with time. It took time though, but it came out. That's when I realized I can stand on my own, and it brought me closer to God. Yeah, that's one thing I say. I thank God for any time I'm down, or any time I feel like everything in my life is like a downfall. I don't run to people, I run to God. So it stayed until 2009. Then I got married 2010. So it was like a planned package by God. So it comes to a place, 2008, it became very, I think when I was so much stressed, it kept on occurring. After every span of 5 minutes, boom. 5 minutes, boom. And then you're thinking, wow. So apparently the guy who I was dating and who loved me with the whole of his heart, at that particular time, the pressure was too much, and probably he couldn't hack it, so he left. And he left for 1.5 years. So that time when we had the relationship had broken up, it occurred because of course I was under stress. This was a 5-year relationship. Now this guy has just gone. Could it be he left because of the disease? And I went back to God and I told God, see, I told you to heal me. Now see, the dudes are coming and they are walking away. So, and I wrestled with God, for sure. But you see, I had already adapted a prayerful life. So even when he left, I was telling God, you know what? I don't know what you're teaching me, but let me learn. And at the same time, I hated pastors. Oh my God, I hated pastors. I was like, if a pastor can do this, really? See, then I just hook up with a kahith, and then, man, I go to those kadundas that I never went, If my boyfriend then was still a pastor. So why if a pastor can really hurt, who lives next to God, Then see I just vuka, and I remember telling God, you know what, God, me by the way, I'm very real with God. So I just told God, you know what, by the way, usposoti, navuka. Yeah, and I'll be faithful to the place I will go. Just the way I've been faithful on this side, I'll be faithful to the other side. And I remember I reached a place, I told God, let's make an agreement. I will not, I have backslidden. I'll not drink. I'll not sleep with men, but I'll go to all the discos in this Nairobi. But they officially, me and you, we are done. And I was very honest. But believe me, when I tried to go for a kadunda, what? It backfired. I went, I was misplaced. I was not understanding what guys are doing. I felt everything is smelling bad on that room. So I never went. So what happened, I decided I won't be going to church. So on Sundays I used to sleep. But then there's this thing telling you, you're friends. Then I got your service in Aisha, then I come say hi to my friends. When the season was done, then again, I got restored. Apparently, what I didn't tell you is that before my boyfriend met me, the Lord had spoken to me, literally. And that time, I had not known God's voice. I will not lie. I had not known her. You know the way you hear God spoke to me, I used to wonder, this God, my friend, kwani? Yeah, then here you're praying for something different. Then you hear like somebody literally is tapping you and telling you to turn. And in that sanctuary, it was up there. It was only me and so-called my husband now on that sanctuary. Okay? Then God tells you, that shall be your husband. Oh, this is a character you don't talk to. Then you just see him as a pastor and as a handsome pastor. You just see with your eyes and then smile and then you tell yourself, he's a pastor. I'm looking for a DJ, not a pastor. So it was a very interesting story. And then another pastor from Mias came, preached those revival meetings and said when God tells you something, he has a purpose. And and then when he's talking on those revival, yani, whatever the Lord said is coming here. Then I'm looking at that guy, I'm thinking, well, he's handsome, but ushamba nayo, you know? And you're like, hey, my God, will I hack? Then apparently the ministry was in me. Then Mama Pastor, Mrs. Temple comes on board. I've just finished Form 4. She tells you, let me tell you, 2 things will happen to you. If one fails, one must work. If you don't become a nurse, you'll become a pastor's wife. Well, yeah, here I am today. Yeah, one of them. So for me, in that season, the word that the Lord said, in fact, the words today, they are very clear. He shall be your husband. It won't be easy, but I will work it out. You're getting? Those were the clear words. It won't be easy, but I will work it out. Now, humanly thinking, you're thinking, it won't be easy is that he will have so many girlfriends that I won't be able to penya. That was not the case. In fact, I didn't struggle much. At some point, he was dating a girl who we thought he is actually going to marry that girl because they looked, have you ever seen a perfect couple? They looked very perfect. Then you can imagine this girl